So 3.0 is upon us, and with the release of the Honkai Star Rail version 3.0 patch, we are not only going to be introduced to a brand new world, including a lot of new characters, but three new banners. And so in today's video, we're going to be discussing what are going to be the pull priorities for the different phases of the patch. And also keep in mind with each phase, we are going to be having 4 5-star characters available. In phase 1, we are going to be having the Herda, Jade, Fei Xiao, Ling Sha, and in phase 2, we're going to have Agalea, Robin, Silver Wolf, and Boot Hill. So starting off with the characters is going to be the Herta, the arguably headliner unit of the 3.0 patch. Herta is going to be an erudition character, and she is going to be absolutely insane when it comes to DPS damage capabilities. And to start off, I will actually say that I do think the Herta is going to be a top priority character, given the fact as to with how she works with her interpretations. It doesn't necessarily matter what character launches an attack on an enemy as long as an ally does. It does not matter if they follow the path of erudition or not. So by doing this, it allows Herta to be able to maximize her total stacks and get her overall damage capabilities out. So very, very strong. And along the same lines, I will actually also talk about Jade. Jade is going to be a top tier in pure fiction, being one of the strongest characters if you are struggling for clearing the top levels of pure fiction. And they actually both work beautifully in tandem with one another, where the Herta, she launches her follow-up attack. Jade will then launch her follow-up attack and accumulate more and more energy, as well as the Herta doing the same. So both of these characters are a very top priority pull. Fei Xiao is an interesting pick, given the fact that with this coming patch, a lot of emphasis is going to be put on multiple enemies on the battlefield. Fei Xiao, while yes, a top tier damage dealing character, arguably the strongest damage dealing character in the game, she does have one hindrance, that being she is part of the hunt path. And so, because of this, she only specializes in single target damage. While yes, being able and very efficient in taking down single target enemies, for this individual patch, she is going to be a little bit less, efficient. Having said that, though, I do think Fei Xiao is a very, very strong damage dealing character, but she does, like I said, come into conflict when it comes to multiple enemies on the field and having two other DPS erudition characters in phase 1 patch. I do think Fei Xiao drops on the pull priority list. Next up is going to be Ling Sha, and I do think Ling Sha is actually much better than what I initially thought about her when she came out. While yes, she is very good when it comes to break effect teams, a la Firefly and Boot Hill, Ling Sha has the capability to shine on any given team while also providing very good and sufficient sustaining capabilities all by herself, allowing you to run multiple DPS characters and a Harmony character, or multiple Harmony characters with a main focus on one DPS character. With that, I do think Ling Sha falls on the medium pull priority list. Alright, so for phase 2, the headliner character is going to be Agalea. And with the release of Agalea, as well as the new main character, Remembrance Path, we are going to have a new focus on summons. And what Agalea does is she is going to be summoning a little bit of a mannequin onto, alongside herself. So damage wise, Agalea is going to be very, very strong. However, she is somewhat in a precarious situation, given the fact that we are now entering, as I mentioned, a new meta when it comes to summons. And so Agalea, while yes, she could be extremely valuable in the future, it's really hard to gauge given the fact that we don't have a whole lot of actual hardcore support for the new meme summons. So Agalea is going to fall onto the medium pull priority. Next up is going to be Robin. And honestly, Robin has been out in so many different patches. It's kind of hard to assume somebody not already having her. But saying that, Robin is going to be a must pull priority because of the fact of what she is capable of doing, able to advance forward everybody, increase crit damage, just the absolute amount of support that Robin is capable of providing for any kind of meta is by all just the top. She definitely eclipses any other Harmony character in my opinion, given the fact how, yes, her initial and primary use is that on the follow-up attack team, though she's capable of being thrown on any team and providing so much. So Robin is going to be a must-pull unit. Boot Hill is going to be an interesting one, given the fact that damage-wise, he is arguably top 3 in the current game. But he falls on the wayside given the fact that we are now leaving the break meta teams. And Boot Hill is where break teams is the epitome of his damage capabilities. So Boot Hill, though, while yes, high damage dealing character, the ceiling is super high. I do think in terms of pull priority for all the other characters in the current patch, he's actually on the low priority, and that I actually recommend people not pulling for him to begin with. Finally is going to be Silver Wolf. And Silver Wolf, at this given point in the current game lifespan, has definitely been left behind in the dust. Now, initially, when she was released, she was very good, enabling you to implant a certain debuff onto the enemy, given and focused on what kind of teammates you had. I do think, in terms of what characters are capable of doing now compared to when Silver Wolf first came out, is just we can't even like begin to talk about how much of a gap that really is now. So Silver Wolf is going to fall on that no pull list.